Rain taps gently on your window, a soft rhythm pulling you into the night. A lantern glows on your nightstand, its light spilling over an open journal, pages whispering of distant road. If you want to find peace in this gentle journey through distant lands, I'd be truly thankful for a soft like and a subscribe to catch our next soothing tale. Imagine yourself curled under a quilt, the world outside softened by mist, the faint scent of damp earth drifting through your bedroom. The air is cool, the lantern's glow dancing across a map spread beside you, its edges worn from dreams of far-off places. I'm so glad you're here, tucked into this cozy moment, whether you're under city lights or where stars light the sky. This story, a true one, rooted in history, but told through a wanderer's heart, is for you. It's meant to ease your mind, to carry you gently toward sleep. So, let's begin. Softly, like a whisper, by this rainy window. I first heard whispers of this tale in 2022, in a dusty Florence bookshop, where an old trader's diary mentioned a name time forgot. It stayed with me ever since, like a song you hum without knowing why. We're stepping back to the late 13th century, when the Silk Road wove a path from Venice's shimmering canals to the golden courts of China. Merchants carried silk, spices, and dreams across deserts and mountains. Our wanderer isn't Marco Polo, though he's there, scribbling his famous tales. This is about Livia, a young woman, history overlooked, whose journey held a secret that seemed to touch time itself. Livia wasn't born for greatness. She was a weaver's daughter from a village near Venice, her hands stained with indigo, her eyes always on the horizon. At 19, she disguised herself as a boy to join a caravan heading east. Her only keepsake, a tarnished pendant from her mother, etched with a spiral like a star. Can you imagine leaving everything familiar behind? Picture standing at the edge of your world, a satchel over your shoulder, the wind carrying scents of places no one you know has seen. Would you take that first step? The caravan moved slowly, like a heartbeat across the earth, camels plodding through dust, their bells jingling faintly. Livia walked among traders, her cap pulled low, breathing in the sharp temps of leather and the warm spice of saffron. The Silk Road wasn't one path, but a web, threading through bazaars, where voices clashed in Persian, Turkic, Arabic, a chorus of life. At night, under a sky so vast it felt like it could hold every story, Livia lay by the fire, her pendant warm against her skin. The stars seemed to pause, as if time itself was watching her journey unfold. In a caravanserai near Bukhara, Livia met a stranger. He was old, his cloak patched, his eyes bright as moonlight on water. He called himself Amir, a keeper of stories, not goods. Over a cup of bitter tea, he spoke of a relic, a small, carved stone, said to hold the secret of time's flow. It's not for the greedy, he said, his voice low, like the wind over dunes. It chooses who carries it. He pressed the stone into her hand, its surface cool, etched with spirals that matched her pendant. Can you imagine holding a mystery like that? A small, heavy thing in your palm, promising answers you're not sure you're ready for. Would you keep it, or let it go? The stone changed her. Livia kept it hidden in her tunic, but it felt alive, its spirals almost humming. She began to notice things, how the sun seemed to linger in the desert's heat, how the stars shifted slightly each night, as if guiding her. Was time bending? Or was it her heart, stretched by the endless road? The caravan pushed through ochre plains, where the air smelled of dust and distant roses. The sands held the weight of centuries, each grain a story of travelers long gone. Have you ever stood in a place so old it feels like it remembers you? Like a ruin or a shore, where time wraps around you, holding every moment together, where markets buzzed with silk traders and spice sellers. Livia heard tales of Kublai Khan's court in Kambalik. Marco Polo was there, they said, weaving stories for the Khan that sparkled like gold. But Livia wasn't after fame. She was chasing the stone's secret. By lantern light, she studied its spirals, which seemed to pulse, like a heartbeat or a star. She dreamed of a city with glass towers, its streets flowing like rivers, calling her forward. Was it real, or was it time itself, whispering to her soul? Can you imagine chasing a dream no one else believes in? A vision that feels so true, but so far? Would you keep going, even if it felt like madness? The journey grew harder. Storms swept the high passes, and bandits hid in the shadows. One night, in a cave near Kashgar, Livia glimpsed a cloaked figure watching from the cliffs, their silhouette sharp against the moon. Her heart raced. Was the stone drawing danger? In Dunhuang, a trader offered her gold for it, his smile too sharp, his hand lingering too long. She clutched it tighter, sleeping with her knife close, her dreams filled with glass towers and ticking stars. Can you imagine guarding a secret that feels alive? Something that seems to call out to the world? Would you hold it close, even as it weighs you down? By the time the caravan reached the Taklamakan desert, Livia was no longer the girl who'd left Venice. Her eyes carried the dust of miles, her heart the rhythm of the road. The desert was a vast, silent sea, its dunes glowing under a moon that seemed to wait for her. The stone felt heavier now, not in her hand, but in her thoughts. She knew the journey was far from over, that the secret of time lay somewhere beyond the horizon, in the Khan city, or perhaps further still. The rain outside your window is steady now, a gentle hum against the glass. Can you see Livia, standing at the desert's edge, the stone warm in her hand? What does it hide, and who else seeks it? We'll find out soon, dear wanderer, but for now, let your mind drift with the rain, with the stars she followed. Maybe time, like her journey, is something you feel, right here, in this quiet moment. The rain outside your window is steady now, a gentle hum against the glass. Can you see Livia, standing at the desert's edge, the stone warm in her hand? What does it hide, and who else seeks it? We'll find out soon, dear wanderer, but for now, let your mind drift with the rain, with the stars she followed. Maybe time, like her journey, is something you feel, right here, in this quiet moment. The Taklamakan desert stretched before Livia like a sea of secrets, its dunes glowing under a moon that seemed to linger, as if guarding her path. The caravan crept forward, a line of shadows, their bells soft against the vast silence. The fingers brushed the stone in her tunic, its spiral etchings warm, almost alive. The air was sharp with dust and the faint promise of rain, long swallowed by the sand. Every step felt heavier, as if the desert knew what she carried. Can you imagine? Walking a path that feels like it's watching you. A place so quiet, yet so full of secrets. Would you keep going, or stop to listen? The days were brutal. The sun scorched the sky, turning the air into a shimmering haze, while nights brought a cold that sank deep into her bones. Livia stayed, quiet, her cap low, blending with the traders. But the stone's weight was a constant whisper. By firelight, its spirals seemed to shift, like ripples in a stream. Amir's words echoed. It chooses who carries it. Was she chosen, or trapped? The caravan passed oases, where palms rustled like old stories, their fronds swaying in the breeze, and springs bubbled with the ghosts of ancient travelers. Each stop felt like a pause in time, as if the world was waiting for her to understand. Danger trailed her like dust. In Turfan, where vineyards sprawled under a hazy sky, Livia found footprints near their camp too, deliberate to be chance. Her pulse quickened. Someone was following. Can you imagine knowing someone's watching you, but not knowing why? A shadow just out of sight. Would you hide what you carry, or face it head-on? At a market stall, she glimpsed the cloaked figure again, their eyes glinting like a blade under the hood. She slipped away, heart pounding, the stone afire against her chest. Was it the trader from Dunhuang, or someone new? Her mother's pendant, with its matching spiral, felt heavier too, as if it held its own secrets. The caravan wound through the hexy corridor, where the great wall's shadow stretched across the earth, its stones worn by centuries of wind. In Lanzhou, Livia met a storyteller, her hair silver, her voice soft as the river nearby. The woman's eyes lingered on Livia's tunic, as if she saw the stone. "Time isn't a straight path," she said, offering a cup of tea that smelled of jasmine. "It's a tapestry, and you hold a thread." She gave Livia a small, polished bead, its surface etched with a single spiral. "Keep it close," she whispered. "It speaks when you're ready." Livia tucked the bead beside the stone and pendant, their weight grounding her, but the questions sharpened. "Have you ever held something smaller, bead? A memory that felt bigger than it should, like it carried a truth you couldn't yet name?" The road to Kambalik was a journey of contrasts, mountains cloaked in mist, plains dusted with frost, the air thick with pine and earth. Traders from Cathay passed by, their carts heavy with silk and porcelain, their voices bright with tales of Kublai Khan's court. Marco Polo was there, they said, his stories dazzling the Khan, weaving Venice's canals into China's golden halls. But Livia wasn't chasing tales. She was chasing the stone's truth. In her dreams, the glass-towered city returned, its streets shimmering like time itself, each step pulling her closer to an answer she couldn't grasp. The danger grew closer. In Jiuyuguan, a thief struck at night, his knife flashing in the starlight. Livia fought him off, her breath ragged, the stone safe, but her trust frayed. Who knew of it? A mirror, the cloaked figure. Or was the stone itself calling out, like a beacon across the desert? Can you imagine guarding something that seems to draw every eye? A secret that feels alive. Would you hold it tighter, or let it go to be free? Livia began to see the stone spirals everywhere in a merchant's ring, a temple's mosaic, the curve of a river under the stars. Was the stone guiding her, or was she weaving its meaning from her own longing? Kambalik rose like a vision, golden roofs, catching the winter sun. Streets alive with the clatter of carts, the laughter of children, the scent of sesame and smoke. The Khan's palace loomed, its walls heavy with the weight of empires. Livia felt small, but the stone felt vast, its spirals a pulse in her mind. She sought a scribe, a woman said to read the stars like a book. The scribe, her eyes clouded with age, studied the stone and bead, her fingers tracing their spirals. "This is no map of roads," she whispered. "It holds time's tapestry, moments woven across centuries." Livia's breath caught. Was it true? Did the stone bind past and future? The scribe spoke of a myth, a stone carved by a sage who saw time not as a river, but as a cloth, each thread a life, each knot a choice. "It shows where paths cross," she said, "where one journey touches all." But she warned Livia, others sought it, not for wisdom, but for power. As Livia left, the cloaked figure appeared, closer now, a dagger's shadow in their hand. She fled into the city's alleys, heart racing, the stone, bead, and pendant afire against her chest. Can you imagine running through a golden city, a secret burning in your hands? Would you keep it, or let it go to save yourself? The chase led to a temple, its air thick with incense, its walls etched with spirals that mirrored her stone. Livia hid, clutching her keepsakes, her breath shallow. The cloaked figure's steps echoed, then faded into the city's hum. In that quiet, she looked at the stone. Its spirals glowed not with light, but with meaning. She saw her journey. In them, Venice's tides, Bucharest's fires, the Takelmaken's dunes. She saw time, not as hours, but as a weave of moments, her mother's smile, the caravan's bells, the stars, steady light. The storyteller's words returned. Time is a tapestry, and you hold a thread. Livia understood. The stone wasn't a map to a place. It was a mirror, showing her place in time's endless weave. She emerged at dawn, the city waking in a soft mist. The cloaked figure was gone, but Livia knew the danger lingered. She left the caravan, choosing to wander alone, The stone, bead, and pendant her guides not to a city, but to time's truth. She walked on, each step a thread in the tapestry, each choice a knot, tying her to every wanderer before and after. Maybe her journey ended there, but her story lives in every heart that feels time, not as a chain, but as a tapestry of moments, shimmering forever. The rain outside your window is a whisper now, the lantern's glow fading as morning nears. Can you feel it? Livia's journey, the way time weaves us all, like stars in a desert sky. Wherever you are tonight, let this story linger. A gentle reminder that your wanderings, big or small, are threads in time's endless cloth. Sleep well, dear wanderer, and dream of paths yet to weave. If you're still with us, let us know in the comments where you're wandering from and what time it is. There, dream gently.